So Christian churches are currently being set on fire and attacked by progs. And this is not just in North America, this is all over the place. Why? And what can be done about it? 2-for-1 videos today, so let's go ahead and get into this. So, first off, I'm just going to state off, I myself am not a Christian, although I have some love for their faith. After all, it does do good things every now and again. In fact, much of the stability of Western civilization can be traced directly back to Christian ideals. So, hats off to you for that. Moving on, though. Why the sudden uptick in assaults on Christian churches? Well, there were all the assaults and fire bombings of Christian churches up in Canada because of a false claim of a mass grave, which was then, debunked. Seriously, look it up. There was apparently a mass grave up in Canada, or a claimed mass grave, and everybody got angry and started burning down churches. And, well, simply put, it wasn't true. It was all based on a great big lie. So, oh well. And now, of course, we have people firebombing Christian churches over this whole Roe v. Wade thing. Now, let's go ahead and look at why. Because it's easy enough to say, oh, people are angry at the church for their past transgressions. Sure, there is that. But there's also a slightly more insidious reason. It's what the Christian church represents. It represents the foundation, the stability, the status quo, the civilization in which we are currently standing in North America and Europe and many other places. Simply put, the progs, these left-wing academics, they're trying to tear down. Now, why they're trying to tear it down, that's a whole nother can of worms. But they're trying to tear it down. And the Christian faith makes for a very good target. This is the second part of the why. Simply put, the Christian faith has lost its aggression and its ability to defend itself. So why might that be? 2 reasons. Simply put, they became lazy. The Christian faith more or less dominated the planet for a short while, and that while was long enough, even though it was short, for them to effectively sit back and say, we can dispense with our aggression because it is no longer required to survive. Seriously, Christians, ask yourself, these churches that are being attacked, where are your young men to defend them? And I don't mean little prayer groups, and I don't mean little reading circles. Where are your healthy, strong, virile young men to actually protect your church? It's a good question, because these men exist. So why aren't they defending your faith? Is it perhaps because your faith no longer really offers anything to them? The guiding light is gone. The people that used to look up to the faith are now gone because the faith is represented by, I hate to say it because, again, this does make me sad, a bunch of aging pedophiles and hucksters, con artists. The sort of people who, sit in these multi-million-dollar mansions and say, oh, if you want God on your side, just send me money in the mail and I'll pray for you. Televangelists, people that effectively prey on the desperate in order to get themselves rich. Now, granted, that's not the entire Christian faith, but it's most certainly a very, very loud and visible part of it. So maybe the reason that civilization is no longer defending the Christian faith is because, well, there's no real reason to. Or at the very least, there's no real reason to that is apparent. Christians, you've got to get your act together. You will be devoured by the woke mob. You will be devoured by the progs. It's already starting to happen. If you don't think it will continue to happen, well then, you haven't been paying attention. And I honestly don't really want to see it happen. I think that would actually be quite sad. I think that would cause a further degradation of Western values. So, speak to your young men. Find out precisely what they want. Find out what you can offer them. And, metaphorically, of course, or sometimes literally, depending on if you find an angry mob outside of your door. Start getting your armor on. You may need it. Just a friendly piece of advice. And to everybody else, as per usual, get outside every now and again, drink plenty of water, fruits, vegetables, fresh meat. Don't forget that, stay away from that stuff that's got all those crazy preservatives in it. And y'all have a very nice day. Happy Woden's Day.